Well, hey, how y'all doing out there today? Listen, I'm going to talk about an ugly subject matter. I know a lot of y'all have different views or opinions on our energy sources, oil drilling, offshore drilling, natural gas, whatever it is. But this fracking, y'all, fracking, it was no good from the very beginning. Matter of fact, Halliburton, who really started the modern day fracking back in the 60s, the 1960s, even said that it cost too much to do it and that they had no way of getting rid of the wastewater. It takes 2 million gallons of water just to frack one well, just the first fracture of the first well. And there's over 150,000 frack wells in America. So you do the math on that. That's a lot of clean water gone for nothing. But as with these energy companies and how they are, they want to get everything as cheap as possible. They don't want to be responsible for the damage that they do, or even killing you. They're not going to be responsible because they own this government. And let me say that one more time, real clear for the cheap seats and people that don't understand. Big oil owns the United States federal government. Okay, I just want to make sure you got that clear. Now, as many of you know, I'm a strong opponent of any kind of this crap you want to call energy sources. We've been living this life for about 150 years now. We've been on the same gasoline engine for about 130 years. Um, Everything that's been offered out there as an alternative fuel supply has been shot down. Now, they won't even let some young man clean up the Pacific Ocean because he wanted to turn the plastic into a biofuel. Big oil lobbies for laws that keep them in the green, that keep them making money, and keep us toxic and poison. Well, and in the past, I've gotten in a lot of trouble with Department of Homeland Security for talking about this. The first time I did not know that it was illegal to tell people what was in the fracking wastewater. So I'm not going to tell you what they use in their solutions. It's against the law to warn people about the sicknesses that come from this because of the Halliburton loophole that Dick Cheney put out there back in 2007. A lot of the things that I've talked to people, the people of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Tuscaloosa County, Alabama, the people in North Carolina, even the people in Australia, I've gotten in serious trouble for. Canada is where they finally told me to quit. But I know what I can and can't talk about legally, and I know what I will talk about morally. So it is my moral obligation to tell you that y'all need to pay attention to this little series of earthquakes that's just been going on since March 6th around the South Alabama, North Florida line. Well, first I'm going to say that there's over 4,000 fracking pads in Tuscaloosa County, Alabama, right over there near the University of Birmingham. So you roll tide folks out there, y'all are sick. I mean not sick like unhealthy sick. I used to watch Facebook from people that lived in the small towns around there. Every day these people were talking about them being sick or somebody else being sick. But I didn't realize that they had come all the way down to South Alabama to re-inject their waste. And this is what they're doing, y'all. I want to give you another example of how these earthquakes go. They're usually at about anywhere from the 2 to 3.5 mile range, and the earthquakes are normally about 2 to 3.3 on the Richter scale. These Florida quakes and the North Florida quakes, they were all about that depth, and they were all 2.1 to 2.7. That got me thinking right away. Ever since March 6th when I saw the first article. And before anybody says anything, and they say, "Hey, Bill, there's a long history of earthquakes all around the world. This ain't nothing new. This could be from the weather. This could be from the shift in the earth." Fine. There have never been any onshore Florida quakes. There have been 3 offshore Florida quakes since 1977. And then we had 5 in 3 weeks onshore inland towards Alabama. Now, I was just talking to a sister out there named Judy, and she was concerned about a few things about the quakes. And I made a joke about, the flooding going to slide the land down. And then it hit me. It was like, wow. And so thank you, Judy, for reminding me to really look into this. The depth, the magnitude of the quake itself all fit the re-injection from the frac waste. They all fit that pattern. So I got to looking into it, y'all. And sure enough, just 8 hours ago, and of course that's 8 hours ago from this moment in time. 8 hours ago, an article just came out, and I put it on my wall about have the re-injection and the fracking in Alabama caused the 5 Florida earthquakes. You look into it deeper, and they are already in the article saying that it is. They have people from Auburn University. They have people from all around to look into this. Now, you say, well, Bill, you know, they're re-injecting this waste. They got to do something with it. It's way down in the ground. What's it going to do? Well, you could think that somewhere in Oklahoma. You could think that anywhere, but that's a lie. That is the lie. When they re-inject that back down into these old wells, see, that's what they do. They take old dried up wells, or they take old salt caverns, and they fill them back up with their toxic waste. What they've done down here in the North Florida, South Alabama, South Georgia, let me tell you something. If you live from the base of the Appalachian Mountains around Columbus, Georgia, all the way to the tip of Florida, mostly all the way across the Gulf of Mexico over to Louisiana, this is one big giant water aquifer. You get it now? It's all of our water supply, and they're putting the poison right in it. This stuff will not go away. Some of them die out. Some of the poisons, toxins die out in about 100 years. Some of them last 5,000 years. So it's not like, hey, when it starts coming up, it'll just, you know, dissipate and go away. It'll never go away. So I want you to pay attention to this as it goes on, especially if you live in the southeast of the United States. It's running rampant everywhere. I saw the little kids in West Virginia, y'all, with lesions all over their skin. I saw the dark circles under the people's eyes, the constant bloody noses, bleeding from the ears. This is all from toxic chemicals and methane poisoning from fracking. They're going to keep doing it till the last minute. And matter of fact, and I say this with all due respect, Department of Homeland Security, I am not inciting violence, but I will say that fracking, the most dangerous and toxic form of getting an energy source, will never be stopped until we, the people, put our foot down and say no. And how we put our foot down, I don't know. Me personally, I'd like to put it on the back of their neck and squeeze real hard, but that's just a thought, Department of Homeland Security. I highly suggest that every single one of you that live in America, the most fracked out country in the world, the most fracked out country in the world, do like the Australians did. Research this. Look at the chemicals that they're putting. Try to find the 1% of the chemicals that they won't even disclose. Look at the companies that are doing this around you. Look at the outfits that are doing it. Any one of you that live off well water, just as I suggested to this sister down there, get your years and your well gets poisoned and you don't have proof that you had clean water in that well before they started re-injecting, before they started fracking around you, you don't have a case. Get your well water checked now. Even get your city water checked. I'm not sure how much it costs. You're going to have to look that up. Look, some of this y'all going to have to look up because I can't get in trouble no more about this. It's not that I'm scared to get in trouble. Hell, I push the envelope of getting in trouble all the time. The last time the Department of Homeland Security told me there would not be a 4th time. I've already been detained 3 times for talking about this. So I'm not going to jeopardize myself when you can do some research. I would love to give you the research. I would love to give you a list of names. It's illegal to do. But in saying that, all the information is out here online. I will give you that much truth. All the information that you need to know about fracking, re-injection, the chemicals, the process, the depth, the earthquakes caused by it are all out here online. So please get online. Do some research. Do some research for your life because it's your life. But pay attention to this. 5 earthquakes in 3 weeks in an area that had 3 offshore, that has never had an inland earthquake. Wow. And you know what? Big oil and our government count on you being stupid. They count on you being ignorant. They count on you not caring. They don't want you to care. They think you don't care enough. So care enough. Not just for the Mother Earth, which you should. Not just for Mother Earth, not just for you, but for your children. Because I'm going to come back to these children every time until I rub it into your face and you get it. You get the point. No planet, no life, but no children, definitely no life. We won't carry on. And plus, they're innocent. Why don't they get a chance at health? Why don't they get a chance at being adults like we are? We got to give them a chance. I mean, and listen, You see Nestle making the grab at water. All they're going to do, these fat cats, and here's the last thing I'm going to tell you before I get off here. These fat cats have already figured it out. They don't want to pay, and they have nowhere to put their toxic chemicals. So they're going to put them in the ground. Then everybody on well water is going to have to go to city water. You're going to have to buy every drop of water that you ever get from now on. You're going to have to buy it. Drinking water, bathing water, clothes washing water. It don't matter. Swimming pool water. As a matter of fact, your swimming pool, go over there and smell it and take a drink of it, because that's what your water is going to be like once they poisoned all the water around the world. They're going to give you some chemically induced water that's cancer causing, bottom line, sickness causing. So they know this, so they're poisoning it anyway, because they all rub each other on the butt up there. These rich elite, especially big oil and these big corporations, and our federal government's owned by them, so they're not going to get you back. So we got to have each other's back. So research this, look into it. Hey, look, even if you ain't from Florida or Dixie, you ain't from down in the Southeast, help a brother out, help a sister out. If you're a good researcher, look into this. Start putting information up. Send it to me. I will be more than happy to post any information about fracking, re-injection, any of it, pipelines, whatever you want to. I'll put it on my wall, as small as it is. I'll get it out there the best I can, because this is very important. Because let me tell you something. If you ain't noticed it since September 11th, for sure, man, big oil has taken over. We're in a 18-year war because of big oil. We're in a state where we have foreign countries drilling and toxifying our land and then getting to run home and leave their mess all over our country. The last 2 years has been amazingly idiotic, just idiotic. They don't care about us. They just care about their bottom line. It's not the government looking out after you. It's a board of directors looking after their own interests. All their words about is their quarterly statement. You think about that, but really look into these earthquakes. Look at the Oklahoma earthquakes. Research the brief history of re-injection in America. Look at how Nestle is going and buying all these aquifers that get poisoned in all these clean water areas, and they're buying it and selling the water back. Look at how all the water municipality, all the water companies and all the waterworks out there have completely gone federal, and they all have federal protection. Think about that. All right. Pay attention to what's going on down there in Florida, because y'all, I can't really think of a place in America right now, or even Canada, that you're safe from big oil, that's not been toxified. I really don't know of a spot. And you know what? I would say one place I've been on, the Appalachian Trail. I have drank pure, clean mountain water straight from the mother. And it's great, y'all. Like 40 degrees and just crystal clear, beautiful tasting water. And they want to run a pipeline down the Appalachian Trail. Wow. Wow. And people's out there in trees, and people's putting up tripods, and they're trying to block, say, like the Mountain Valley Pipeline or the Keystone Pipeline. And y'all are out there, oh, them old liberal tree-hugging earth children and them hippies out there just protesting. Come on, let the corporations rape us. Let the corporations poison our water. Let the corporations kill us. Well, I'd rather see some hippie protesters getting arrested than nobody doing nothing but sitting on their ass. But I don't believe in being arrested. I don't believe in peaceful protest. And I can't tell you what I believe in because it's illegal. So whatever. But I do love y'all. I do think we need to have each other's back. I think we need to look out for each other in different reasons. I may never meet you, but I love you. I may never have had time to play with your kid or see them, playing sports or acting or drawing. But I bet it's a wonderful child. I'd love to see them all. I'd love to see all of you, but we can't. So we can take care of each other in this way. We can love other people's children, and we can love other people. We can love our tribe in this way of taking care of each other. Because as I said earlier today, fear is a disease, but knowledge is the cure. So there we go. Let's knowledge each other up. Let's quit being the dumbest civilized country in the world, and let's go back to being the most self-learned, smartest people that we could be. Think about that, y'all. That's our power, and that's the power they fear, is unity and us knowing things. So think about that. I love y'all. Peace. And by all means, don't live in fear, especially these fracking assholes. They're going to go down sooner or later. It's all going to come out. And they're going to, but they're going to make their money now. And what they leave behind, we're going to have to clean up. So we need to start figuring out ways of cleaning it up. Think about that. I love y'all. Peace.